Hello, this anime Echihikes. Today we will be doing a new What If Issei lost his memory part 1. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm, golden glow over the city of Kuo. It was just another ordinary day for Issei Hayado, or so he thought. As he walked to school, his backpack slung over his shoulder and his mind filled with thoughts of beautiful girls and heroic deeds, he had no idea that today would be different. Issei had always been a bit of a dreamer, and his dreams often involved him becoming a powerful demon and winning the hearts of the stunning girls at Ko Academy. Little did he know that his dreams were about to take a sharp turn into the unknown. As he entered the school gates, he noticed his friends, Asia and Kiba, waiting for him. Their faces lit up as they saw him, and they rushed over to greet him. "Hey, Issei!" Asia chirped, her blue eyes sparkling with excitement. "We have something amazing to tell you!" Kiba nodded in agreement. "You won't believe what happened last night. It was incredible!" Issei raised an eyebrow, intrigued by their enthusiasm. "All right, spill it, you two. What's the big news?" Before Asia and Kiba could answer, a third figure approached them, his presence imposing and his red hair catching the sunlight. It was Rias Gremory, the stunning redhead who had captured Issei's heart. She looked at him with concern in her amethyst eyes. "Issei," Rias began, her voice gentle yet worried. "We need to talk." Issei felt a shiver run down his spine. There was something about Rias's tone that made him uneasy. "What's going on, Rias?" She sighed, her expression softening as she placed a hand on his shoulder. "Last night, there was an incident during a mission. You lost your memory, Issei." Issei blinked in confusion. He couldn't quite grasp the gravity of what Rias was saying. Lost his memory? How was that possible? He remembered everything from the previous day, and his grand dreams of becoming a harem king were as vivid as ever. "Lost my memory?" Issei repeated, his voice tinged with disbelief. "That can't be right. I remember everything." Asia and Kiba exchanged worried glances, and Rias nodded sadly. "It's true, Issei. You don't remember anything about your life as a devil, the battles we've fought, or the love you have for me and your friends." Issei's heart sank as he tried to process the words. His life as a devil? Battles? Love? None of it made sense. It felt like a cruel joke, but the seriousness in their eyes told him otherwise. "Issei," Asia said softly, "we're going to help you remember. We're going to piece together your past and bring back the Issei we all know and love." As Issei stared at his friends and the girl he had longed for, a mix of emotions swirled within him: confusion, fear, and a nagging sense of loss. What had happened to him? What kind of life had he been living that he couldn't even remember? And as he gazed into Rias's eyes, he couldn't help but wonder about the love they shared, a love that now felt like a distant memory. In the days that followed the shocking revelation of his lost memory, Issei found himself thrust into a world that felt strangely unfamiliar. Everything he thought he knew about himself had been called into question, and he couldn't help but feel like an outsider in his own life. Rias, Asia, and Kiba were determined to help him remember, and they spent countless hours by his side, recounting their shared adventures as devils. They told him about the battles they had fought against fallen angels, rogue devils, and other supernatural threats. They described the bond they had formed as the Occult Research Club and how he, Issei Hayato, had played a crucial role in their victories. Yet, despite their best efforts, Issei's memories remained stubbornly locked away. He couldn't recall any of the epic battles, the moments of camaraderie, or the deep affection he supposedly had for his friends. It was as if his past self was a completely different person. One evening, as Issei sat alone in his room, he couldn't shake the feeling of emptiness that gnawed at his heart. He stared at a photo on his desk, a picture of him and Rias smiling together. They looked happy and in love, but the person in that photograph felt like a stranger. "I wish I could remember," Issei muttered to himself, his frustration mounting. He longed to understand the emotions that had once bound him to Rias, to feel the connection they supposedly shared. Just then, there was a knock on his bedroom door, and Rias entered, her expression a mix of concern and hope. She had been the most affected by Issei's memory loss, as her love for him was deep and unwavering. "Issei," she said softly, approaching him. "How are you feeling?" Issei sighed and looked away. "I still don't remember anything, Rias. It's frustrating." Rias took a seat beside him and reached for his hand, her touch warm and comforting. "We won't give up on you, Issei. We'll find a way to bring back your memories, I promise." Issei turned to look at her, his gaze locking onto her amethyst eyes. "Rias, can you tell me about us? About our relationship?" A flicker of sadness crossed Rias's face, but she smiled nonetheless. "We're more than just a devil and a human, Issei. We're partners in love and in battle. You've risked your life countless times to protect me and the others. Our love is undeniable." Issei felt a strange mixture of emotions as he looked into Rias's eyes: confusion, longing, and a spark of something deeper that he couldn't quite grasp. He knew that he should feel the love she spoke of, but it remained elusive, buried beneath layers of forgotten memories. As the days turned into weeks, Issei's journey to recover his lost memories continued. With Rias, Asia, and Kiba by his side, he delved deeper into the supernatural world he had once known, hoping that each new revelation would bring him closer to understanding the person he used to be and the love he had lost. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast long shadows across the Occult Research Clubroom, Issei sat with Rias, Asia, and Kiba. They had been discussing their latest mission, but Issei's mind wandered as he struggled to grasp the significance of it all. "Issei," Rias said softly, her voice breaking through his thoughts. "There's something important we need to tell you." Issei looked at her, his curiosity piqued. "What is it, Rias?" She took a deep breath, her amethyst eyes filled with a mixture of worry and determination. "There's a reason your memories are missing, Issei. It's not just a random occurrence." Issei furrowed his brow. "What do you mean, Rias? Why are my memories gone?" Kiba leaned forward, his expression grave. "We believe that someone intentionally erased your memories, Issei. And that someone is a powerful enemy, one we've encountered in the past." Issei's heart quickened as he tried to process the implications of what he had just heard. An enemy had deliberately taken his memories from him? But why? And who was this adversary? Rias continued. "The enemy we're dealing with is part of a faction of devils that seeks to disrupt the balance of power in the underworld. They view you as a threat, Issei, and they wanted to weaken us by taking away your memories." Asia nodded in agreement. "Your existence as the Red Dragon Emperor makes you a target, Issei. You're a key player in the supernatural world, and they wanted to cripple us by robbing you of your knowledge and abilities." Issei's head was spinning with the revelation. He couldn't believe that there were forces out there who considered him such a significant threat. It all felt so surreal. What do we do now? Issei asked, his voice tinged with uncertainty. How do we find this enemy and get my memories back? Rias's gaze bore into his, her determination unwavering. We're going to confront this enemy, Issei. We'll uncover their identity and their motives, and we'll make them pay for what they've done to you. Kiba added. We've been gathering information and following leads. We're close to discovering their whereabouts, but it won't be an easy battle. They have powerful allies. Issei clenched his fists, a newfound determination burning within him. He might not remember his past, but he knew one thing for sure. He wouldn't let anyone get away with stealing his memories and threatening his friends. I'm in, Issei said, his voice firm. Let's find this enemy and make them regret messing with us. Rias, ever the leader, held her hand up to signal a halt. We need to be cautious, she whispered. Our enemy may be expecting us. Issei, stay close to us, and be ready for anything. Issei nodded, his grip tightening on the boosted gear, a powerful sacred gear that had been a part of him even before his memory loss. It was a connection to his past that he could never forget, even if he couldn't remember the details. As they entered the dimly lit warehouse, they were met with an eerie silence. The air was thick with tension, and the shadows seemed to dance with malevolence. They moved deeper into the building, their senses on high alert. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the darkness, sending a chill down Issei's spine. Welcome, Rias Gremery and her loyal followers. A figure stepped out from the shadows, revealing a man with sinister red eyes and a devilish grin. He was flanked by several powerful-looking demons, all of whom radiated an air of menace. Rias's voice was steady as she addressed the enemy leader. You're the one who erased Issei's memories, aren't you? Why did you do it? The enemy leader chuckled darkly. Ah, Rias Gremery, always so perceptive. I did it because I knew that with his memories intact, he would pose a threat to our faction. The Red Dragon Emperor is a force to be reckoned with, and we couldn't afford to have him on your side. Issei's fists clenched in anger as he tried to make sense of the situation. He might not remember his past, but he could feel the injustice of having his memories stolen from him. Rias stepped forward, her eyes ablaze with determination. We're here to take back what you've stolen, and to put an end to your plans. The enemy leader smirked and raised his hand, a sinister energy gathering around him. Very well, Rias Gremery. Let's see if you and your friends can handle the consequences of your actions. With that, the battle erupted in a blaze of supernatural power and fierce determination. Issei fought with all his might, tapping into the strength of the boosted gear, even without the memories of how to use it. Rias, Asia, and Kiba battled alongside him, their bonds stronger than ever. As the battle raged on, Issei couldn't help but feel a strange sense of déjà vu. Despite the absence of his memories, he knew that he was fighting for something important, something worth protecting. And as he looked at his friends and the woman he had once loved, he felt a flicker of the emotions he had lost. As the battle reached its peak, Issei felt a surge of power coursing through him, one that was both exhilarating and familiar. With the boosted gear in hand, he tapped into the reservoir of strength hidden within him, unleashing a devastating attack that sent shockwaves through the enemy ranks. The enemy leader, his confidence waning, struggled to maintain control. This can't be. How can he still possess such power without his memories? Rias seized the opportunity, her crimson hair blazing with energy as she confronted the enemy leader. You underestimated the bonds we share, the strength of our resolve. Issei may have lost his memories, but he hasn't lost his heart. With a powerful incantation, Rias launched a barrage of magic that immobilized the enemy leader, rendering him defenseless. The battle was won, and the enemy faction was defeated. As the enemy leader lay defeated, the truth began to emerge. Rias, Asia, and Kiba interrogated him, pressing him for answers. It was revealed that the enemy faction had indeed erased issei's memories in a desperate attempt to weaken the Gremory household and disrupt the balance of power among the devils. Issei, his anger simmering, approached the defeated enemy leader. "Why did you do it? Why take my memories away?" The enemy leader, defeated and broken, looked up at Issei with a mixture of defiance and regret. "You were a threat to our plans. Your potential as the Red Dragon Emperor was too great to be left intact. We had to do whatever it took to stop you." Issei clenched his fists, struggling to contain his anger. He may not remember the battles he had fought, but he could feel the weight of his responsibility as the Red Dragon Emperor. Rias, always the voice of reason, placed a hand on Issei's shoulder. "It's over now, Issei. We've defeated our enemy, and we can start the process of recovering your memories." With the enemy faction defeated, the group left the warehouse, their hearts heavy with the knowledge of the danger that had threatened them. But there was also a sense of victory and closure. In the days that followed, Issei, Rias, Asia, and Kiba worked tirelessly to restore Issei's memories. They consulted ancient texts, sought the help of powerful magic users, and even delved into the depths of the supernatural world in search of clues. And then, one fateful day, as Issei sat alone in his room, a flood of memories rushed back to him. He remembered the battles he had fought, the friendships he had forged, and the love he had shared with Rias. It was as if a veil had been lifted, and the missing pieces of his life had fallen into place. With tears of joy in his eyes, Issei rushed to find Rias. He needed to share the overwhelming wave of emotions that had come rushing back to him. He found her in the courtyard, and without a word, he swept her into a passionate embrace. "Rias," Issei whispered, his voice filled with love and gratitude. "I remember everything. I remember us." Rias's eyes glistened with tears of happiness as she held Issei close. "I knew you would, Issei. Our love is stronger than any memory loss." One sunny afternoon, Issei sat with Rias in their favorite spot on the school rooftop, gazing out at the city below. It was a moment of peace and reflection, a chance to cherish the love they had and the adventures they had shared. Rias turned to Issei, her amethyst eyes filled with affection. "Issei, I'm so glad we were able to recover your memories. I couldn't bear the thought of you living without them." Issei smiled, his heart swelling with love. "Me too, Rias. I can't imagine a life without you and the others." Their hands found each other's, fingers intertwining in a silent promise of a future together. But Issei couldn't help but wonder about the enemy faction that had tried to erase his memories. "Rias," he began, his voice tinged with curiosity, "do we know why the enemy targeted me specifically? What were they trying to achieve?" Rias sighed, her expression turning serious. "It's still not entirely clear, Issei. But we suspect that they wanted to disrupt the balance of power among the devils. Your potential as the Red Dragon Emperor was a threat to their plans. They believed that by erasing your memories, they could weaken us." Issei nodded thoughtfully, understanding the gravity of the situation. "Well, they certainly underestimated our determination and the strength of our bonds." As the days turned into weeks and the Occult Research Club resumed its mission to protect the human world from supernatural threats, Issei couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that he was destined for great things, not just as the Red Dragon Emperor, but also as someone who could make a difference in the lives of those around him. I'm ending it here. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future updates.